Sofia, thank you so much for coming to telechakra.com. You're welcome here.
Thank you.
Well, starting from the start, right now we are seeing you on Bindas, Super Dude, and people are really liking you. But how did your career start? How did you start it, you know?
Start in India or in general?
In general.
I started singing when I was like 5 years old. Since I was a young kid, I was very heavily involved in drama, dance and singing at school. All the dance competitions I used to enter, I was in the choir, I was in the orchestra. So the reason why I was doing these things is because I had no friends, I was bullied at school. So when it came to lunchtime, everybody was playing and I had nothing to do, or I was being beaten up. So I thought, what can I do? Let's join the choir, let's join the orchestra. So it was my escape from the bullies. And so my lunchtimes were full of, in an orchestra, I started off playing the recorder and then the violin. And then in the choir I would be singing. So yeah, it was my performing arts came at a young age thanks to the bullies, so I have a lot to thank them for. And then I studied A-level theatre studies and then went to university and got a degree that I studied 3 years for acting and performing arts. And then I did 1 year at the Actors Centre in London, and through all of this I had no family support, so I did it myself. At university I had 3 jobs. I worked in a call centre, I was making websites, and on the weekend I was working in a supermarket, and there was one more job, Sammy the Sea Lion. I used to dress as a sea lion and hand leaflets out to children. I enjoyed it because I got free hugs. Nobody knew what was inside, but all these kids just hugged me for free and I got paid for it. So yeah, so I had all these crazy jobs, and whilst I was a student I also danced as well. The amount of jobs I've had. I used to be a dancer as well. And then professionally I didn't, it was tough because as I said, I had no family support because they disowned me for wanting to become an artist. And I learnt the hard way how to get into the business professionally, because you need to go to the right schools and blah blah blah. And I just started going to lots and lots of auditions, a huge amount of rejection because I didn't know how to dress, I didn't know how to wear my makeup. I was self-teaching I walked into auditions where it was so out of my league. I remember a dance audition where the dancers were jumping and doing splits like this in the air, and then we all had to do it, and I was like, you're going to look like an idiot, just do it. And I did it, and I looked like an idiot, and I didn't get the job, but I tried. And then I got my first job when I was 18. I managed to get an agent. I sent off maybe 100, please can you take me on, I want a manager. I got one back. And there was an audition for a BBC show with Stephen Fry, who was in V for Vendetta, phenomenal actor. And I had to play a 14-year-old reporter. And then my agent said, they like your picture, but you're too old. And I was like, I can be 14. So I did this, right? I did two ponytails like this. And I turned up, and I was like, all right, what's up? Yeah, my name's Sofia, and I'm here for the audition, innit? So I was acting like a child. I got a job. So I was so happy because, he was an amazing actor. I was so nervous. So that was how I got my first professional job, and I got another job in the same way. My next big brand was for Doritos, Walker's Crisps, and my agent called me and said they want to see you, and then she said, oh, they don't want to see you because they realised you're the wrong person. They thought you were someone else, but she'd already given me the address. So I went and I didn't tell her. And then when I got there they said, you're not on the list. And I said, oh, but my agent called me, and I said, you must have made a mistake, and I got the job. And then my agent told me off. She said, it worked for you this time, but don't ever do that again. I went, okay, but I keep doing it. And so that's how it started, and I ended up doing more work for the BBC. I did a couple of films. I've done it the hard way. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any support. and I'm really happy I did it that way, because every small thing, every small part. In India we have this, people have this attitude, मैं किसी की बहन नहीं या best friend नहीं खेल सकती हूँ, small part नहीं करना है, क्यों नहीं? Acting is acting. Why? What's wrong? Does the person doing a smaller job than you, is he worth any less? No, not in my books. So for me, it doesn't matter whether you're the heroine or whether you're playing a small part, because it's still acting, and I think we need to lose that attitude in India, because I've worked with a lot of Indian actors and actresses, and there's a lot of attitude in India, and I've worked with some of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and they don't have the same attitude. So I think the first thing in acting is to lose your ego. And there's a lot of that in Bollywood. There's also some nice people here as well. And then I got offered through, so my career was going quite well in UK, Hollywood. I've done lots of stuff, you know, from theatre, TV, film. And in Hollywood it's different as well, because we don't have this, you know, TV and film. When I came to India, I remember talking to some TV actors, and a Bollywood actor said, उनके साथ बात क्यों करे, वो TV के actor हैं. I was like, really? I'm not allowed to speak to TV actors? And you know, I think it's changing now. But I think that if you're an artist, you're an artist, regardless of whether you get paid more, paid less, you're TV or film. You know, everybody should be treated the same. So yeah, from the UK, I've been very blessed, and through my hard work and perseverance, I've done a lot. Then I got offered my first film in India through Facebook. I said to the man, get lost, I don't take offers of films on Facebook. And I'd heard a lot about the casting couch in India. And then I had a phone call from Taz Stereo Nation, who's my friend in London, and he said he was doing the music. And I had another phone call from Ronnie Chukli, who's a British actor who was also on the film. So he said, you know, please do the film. So I thought, okay, I have two people who know me. They're saying that these people are okay. What the hell? And then I was in India. And then it was a whirlwind, and you know the rest from the press and everything. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind, and I'm really enjoying it. I've shot 3 Bollywood films so far. I'm doing Super Dude. I've got 2 films to do next year. Yeah, and I'm releasing a film in January. Naturally London is my next Bollywood project, which is we shot in London with all NRIs. It's a phenomenal family film. It's a film that you will never see me in a role like that for a long time, I don't think, in Bollywood. I play a young mother. I have 2 children, this big, like this big. And the original role I was casting for was Pooja, who's the dance teacher. Young, attractive, has an attractive boyfriend. And then the director said to me, I want you to read Rani as well. And Rani was the lead actress. She's the mother of 2 children, divorcee. And I read it, and he asked me what I thought, and I said, I like Rani. He said, who would you like to play? I said, I'll play Rani, because she's more challenging. She's got so much going on in her head. She's a mother of 2 children. She's divorced. She supports her father. There's so much going on, and this is all centered around a massive dance competition where kids have to compete to win a part in a Bollywood film, and then fall in love with another single father. But my dad doesn't like it because this guy is not making a lot of money. So there's a lot that happens in this, but it was a challenging role, and a lot of people who have watched that film have said, oh my god, that's Sofia. They don't believe it's me, but it's me.
That's wonderful. So you basically got a lot of work in India. You spoke about casting couch, you know, have you faced it?
Yeah, the casting couch I think is very much alive. I've never faced it in the West, never faced it in the UK. I think the casting couch in Bollywood exists mainly with the smaller film directors and producers. I'm not sure so much that I've never experienced it with the larger people. I've met Mahesh Bhatt and you know, heads of T-series. I don't think it exists so much at the top, but I have had castings well, they're not really castings. I've turned up. I'll give you one instance. Through somebody I knew who was working down the ladder on a film set, I was invited to meet this guy. I turn up. He was auditioning a woman. I asked to go to the toilet. I went to the toilet, which I had to go through a bedroom, and on the bed was a woman sitting there. The camera was on the bed. That's where they were doing the audition, which I find a little bit strange. I do find it odd. So at that point I said to him, I'm not going to audition for you. If you want me, then I didn't have a manager at the time. But he was just playing, you know when they're idiots when they say, I can see you going so far in Bollywood. I know you're going to be big. You're so beautiful. You don't understand what I can do for you. What I've got lined up. And then they use names. You start hearing them saying, Hanji bhai, main bhi bhai Salman bhai ke saath baat kar raha tha yaar. They start, and there's a lot of idiots like that. And I think, thank God I'm quite a strong woman and I'm not stupid. But there are a lot of people who will fall for this rubbish, and I think every woman and guys as well need to be careful. Don't do your job because you want to be big and famous. Do your job because you love acting. And once I think learning your art is very important. I think once you learn your art and you study for at least 3 years, you have self-respect. You're training for something that you're going to do. And I think that everybody who gets offered the casting couch should say no, because if everybody says no, either we don't make any more films, which will never happen, or things have to change. So if everyone says no, I don't believe in casting couch, there's going to be no directors to make films anymore, because no one's going to be doing it. That's not going to happen. So I just think everybody should just, life isn't about being famous and having money. Life is about the present, which is now. The time you occupy now is life. It's not tomorrow, it's not the future, it's not the lots of money you're going to make in 10 years' time, all the fame and people looking at you and telling you you're beautiful. That's just...
one message to all your fans who love you so much.
One message to all of my fans, is that you are enough. That's it.